basketball fans? Welcome back. So Petro de Luanda versus FUS. So this one was a thriller. It's one game for the ages, and this game ended 89-86. So let's just talk about this. So FUS de Rabat versus Petro de Luanda. I initially picked Petro de Luanda in this matchup. I felt like they were the team that had just had the experience. It was just written. The writing was on the wall. This is a team that it was the business end that they needed to take care of, and they did. And late game heroics from FUS Rabat. They tried to come back down from a 9-point deficit. They cut that to 4, but Carlos Moraes, the only 3 that he hit, that was the most important, he hit it. And honestly, this was that game that was a nail biter all through. I know Petro de Luanda, they started off pretty well, especially in the second quarter. That's the quarter that I really enjoyed watching, because everything that they were doing, they were just hitting everything. And in the first quarter, you could see both teams were holding stuff pretty well, and it's in a rare occasion you could see both teams scored 25 points. They were tied at the first quarter at 25 apiece. Then in the second quarter, just to close out the first half, Petro de Luanda just were hitting everything, and FUS, they just dug themselves in a huge hole that they just couldn't get out of. And that game, FUS recorded a quarter low 9 points. They were held to 9 points in the second quarter, but in the third and fourth, Petro de Luanda, they continued. They had the highest scoring quarter in the third with 29. Then in the fourth, you could see FUS with their last hitch efforts to get back into the game and try to win the game. They couldn't, despite scoring 29 points in the fourth. They couldn't get the job done, and that was it. Petro de Luanda won this game, and I actually picked them because they just had the experience in that. And both teams, they shot pretty decent, especially when it came to the field. FUS having the highest field goal percentage of 46 and a 2-point field goal percentage of 53. But one thing that I've seen with both teams is struggling to shoot the 3-ball. And Petro de Luanda have been struggling at that. They were 9 of 24, 37% shooting, and FUS were 33%, 7 of 21. And this was something that was actually quite interesting, because we have seen a couple of times when you're not able to shoot the 3-ball well and you're not able to have good shot selection, you're not able to knock down the 3-ball at an efficient rate. And this is a 3-point shooting error. You have to be able to knock down those shots. Then when it came to shots on the line, both teams were shooting pretty well. Petro de Luanda shot 81% on the line on 18 out of 22 attempts, and that was by all means very good, but not good enough for FUS, because FUS were hitting almost every single shot they went to the line for, and they were 21 of 24. And this was something that you could see. Elite teams, they rarely miss the shots from the line. And in the rebounds, you could see Petro de Luanda, they had 38. Both teams were tied at 18 apiece in assists, and they shared the role pretty well. 7 steals for Petro de Luanda and 6 blocks for FUS. And FUS, I've got to give credit to Alo Diarra, because his defensive production has just been sensational, and he's one of those guys that I really look forward to. His athleticism is just unlike any other person. And this game, he didn't have that huge scoring barrage that we're accustomed to seeing from him, but everything that he did, he was just effective, especially the blocks, with 4 blocks. Majority of the blocks that FUS had were just coming from Alo Diarra. So he had 8 points, 4 of 7 shooting, and 7 rebounds, 1 assist, just completely taking over the game in his own way. But the lack of scoring production, especially coming from FUS when it mattered, especially when it came to just trying to dig themselves off a hole, it was really lacking. The only guy who was just hitting was Jonathan Jordan, and he was the guy that hit a clutch 3 just to try to cut the lead, but it was just too late, as there was just seconds running down, and the game was already decided, and Petro de Luanda were just going in to grab the win. Despite being a clutch game, you would have expected FUS to try to come back, but the experience that Petro de Luanda had, and knowing for a fact that they've been in those positions, it was very difficult for FUS to be able to get over that. And considering the fact that both teams, they met in their first meeting, in the first game of the BAL, Petro de Luanda just knew what they needed to do, and they did not even give FUS an inch, especially when it came to that offensive side of the basketball. Chile Dandao, he was the story of the evening. 25 points on 33 minutes play. He played heavy minutes. He shot 52% from the field, 57% from downtown. It was a very increased performance, because the previous game he only had 8 points. This one he exploded for 25, and he had 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He struggled with 2 turnovers, but had 1 steal, and he was actually quite effective down the stretch. Then Abubakar Gaku, this is a guy, he had a double-double of his own, played 35 total minutes, 21 points. He had 10 rebounds. He was 7 of 14 from the field, 50%, and he just finished with his own double-double, and he also had a block to go along with it. Then John Pedro, he had a near double-double, because he finished the game with 12 on 80% shooting. He didn't take a lot of field goal attempts, but those rebounds were quite crucial, and 4 assists. Those are the stats that really helped the Petro de Luanda team just get over the edge. This was a very quiet game, especially coming from Carlos Moraes. The only lone 3 that he made was that in the clutch, just to take the game out of FUS Rabat's reach. And he wasn't as I won't say that it's effective, but the Petro de Luanda did not go to him as much as we have seen in the previous games, but they didn't have to. The Petro de Luanda team didn't have to go to him as much, because they already had Lukeni. But Lukeni was just had a very, very bad game. This game, he played 21 total minutes. He had 0 points. The man didn't even score anything, but he had 4 assists and 2 rebounds. So in the scoring department, he went for 0. And funny enough, he was the only player that went 0 points, despite playing 21 minutes. The other players who went 0 points were listed as DNP. So there's that. So Lukeni, he needs to step up, and he needs to find a way to be able to fit in that offense alongside, and also help, and also be that person who can help Chile Dandao and Carlos Moraes there, because Lukeni, he's that guy that he can be able to turn over a game and take over a game, but his performance has not been as convincing in this game, and also I dare say in the tournament. But the Petro de Luanda team, their experience, they're really banking on their experience in this one. And I just knew for a fact that they're just going to win this game, because Petro de Luanda, despite even trailing on points from turnovers, fast break points, they were able to dominate with second chance points and steals. Both teams really, really looked to take care of the basketball, and the FUS team limited their turnovers to 17 turnovers, but the Petro de Luanda team, these guys just knew how to take care of the basketball. They only had 13 turnovers in the whole game, and they tried a lot. But looking at even the guys that came and played, especially Jonathan Jordan from the FUS team, he had a team high 18 points, and he was just going head to head with Chile Dandao. But Chile Dandao won this matchup, especially with his strong 25 points. But Abubakar Gaku, this is another guy that just came and just dominated the rebounds with 10 rebounds, leading the Petro de Luanda team in rebounds. And looking at Alo Diarra, he tried to take over the game in his own way, with his above the rim action, but it wasn't enough to be able to take apart the Petro de Luanda team. It was just all about experience. And Petro de Luanda, this is their 4th season in the BAL. They know what to do. They know how to make the adjustments, and they did. And given the fact that they know how to make the adjustments, they know who to go to, especially when it matters, and looking at even the firepower that they have on offense, Lukeni had a poor game, Carlos Morris had a poor game, but the other guys just stepped up. You could see Chile Dando, he came in and he took over the game, and he was the difference. Despite Lucani not being able to even score a bucket in 21 minutes, he was still effective with his 4 assists and also trying to shot create. But this game, it was just Petro de Luanda's to win. And even it being close, it just shows you that North Africa, they just produce one of the best teams. You could see last year in the AfriChan, Morocco won the whole AfriChan 2023. Tunisia, they are there at the top. They are the BL. They're the second season BL champions. Then we have the Egypt, Al Ahly. You can see those North African teams really, really play good basketball. And I can just say Angola is just there as well. Very storied organization. A very storied, not even organization, Petro de Luanda is an organization, very storied nation, especially when it comes to basketball. And they just know how to mix it up with every single team. And Angola is just producing the best. It's just producing one of the best runs, because you saw them go on that run in the FIBA World Cup. You're seeing they're going to host the FIBA Afrobasket next year, and you're seeing what Petro de Luanda is doing. So this is a team that is actually quite solid. And I must say, last year was supposed to be their year, because they made some key changes and key signings for the BAL season 3. But season 4, they look like a team that can be able to like legit contend for that championship, that BAL championship. But we're just waiting to see what the other games, especially when it comes to the other conferences. I know we have got the Sahara Conference, we've got the Nile Conference, so we're just waiting to see those as well. But this was actually quite entertaining seeing this game, and I just had a lot of fun watching this game, especially watching this game on YouTube. It was awesome. It was actually sensational. And the only last team that is left is the Cape Town Tigers, and honestly, right now, I don't think the Cape Town Tigers can be able to like do anything, because we already know the two teams that have a playoff lock, and it's FUS and Petro de Luanda. I know they're gonna meet a couple of times, but I am just waiting to see what's gonna happen, especially when it comes to even the other conferences, and looking forward to the playoffs, because this one is just gonna be insane. It's going to be an insane playoff run. So even in the new format that we've seen teams playing twice, I feel like it's giving the other teams a chance to be able to like avenge their loss. You can see the Petro de Luanda team got stunned in the first game against FUS Rabat, and they had their chance and shot to be able to avenge the loss, and that was something that I really was really anticipating and looking forward to. So yeah, man. I mean, it was a very solid game, very good game, one for the ages. It was a thriller, and I must say it was very fun to watch. And if you're not tuned into this BL, you're just missing on a lot. Make sure to check out bal.nba.com. They're not sponsoring this video, but of course, I just gotta plug them in because those games are just awesome. Just make sure to check out their website, bal.nba.com, and also check out their YouTube at the BAL. So you can be able to like check on those games, because those games are just awesome. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about this whole BAL season 4. What you think about it? Do you like it? What do you not like it? If you don't like it, man, hit a thumbs up. So yeah, man, I'm out. Peace.